Good morning, cadets. We have completed the numerical problems, solution of numerical problems on magnetic effect of electric current, that is moving charges and magnetism. Okay. Now we will have some numerical problems on current electricity. Okay. Simple problems. A set of n identical resistors, each of resistance R ohm, when connected in series, have an effective resistance of X ohm. When they are connected in series, the effective resistance is X ohm. All are having same resistance R, identical resistances. When connected in parallel, the effective resistance is Y ohm. Find the relation between R, X and Y. Simple problem. All are identical resistors, each of resistance R. So first we will find out effective resistance. Effective resistance when connected in series. R, he has given X, it is given already X, so I will write it as X. X is the effective resistance when connected in series. X is equal to R plus R and so on n times, because n resistors are there. Therefore, it becomes n times R. If it is only 3, then it becomes R plus R, 3R. If it is only 4, then it becomes 4R. So, if it is having n number of resistors in series, then it becomes NR. Because resistors, when they are connected in series, the effective resistance is sum of the individual resistances. In the same way, effective resistance when connected in parallel, here it is given Y. So I will write it as Y is equal to. So it becomes 1 by R. So it should not be Y, it should be 1 by Y. When they are in parallel. If two resistors are there in parallel, 1 by R effective is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Therefore, 1 upon R plus 1 upon R plus and so on n times. Because n resistors are there. Therefore, it becomes n by R. But we want Y. Therefore, reciprocal of this gives us Y. Y is equal to R by n. So call this one as equation 1 and this one as equation 2. Using equation 1 and 2, we can now find out the relation between R, X and Y. R, X and Y. Let us take the product of 1 and 2, multiplying 1 with multiplying 2. So we get X, Y on the left hand side. Using equation 1 and 2, multiplying equation 1 with 2, x y is equal to right hand side you see nr multiplied by r by n. So n cancels, you are left with r square. Therefore r square is equal to xy. This implies R is equal to square root of xy. So if you know the effective resistance, you can very easily calculate what is the value of that resistance R. Okay, that's how we find out the resistance R. Let us solve one more simple problem. Second problem, it is an interesting problem. There are two heated wires. Two heated wires of same dimensions are first connected in series, then in parallel to a source of supply. What will be the ratio of the heat produced in the two cases? First, they are connected in series. Both are identical wires and both are heated to the same extent. Right? When they are connected in series, and next they are connected in parallel. First they are connected in series and the combination is connected to a voltage supply. Next they are connected in parallel and connected to voltage supply. The parallel combination is connected to battery. What is the ratio of heat produced in the two cases? This is the problem. Now, when the two wires are of same dimensions and identical wires are there, then when they are heated to same extent, both will be having same resistance. Let R be the resistance of each heated wire. Since they are identical and heated to the same extent, let R be the resistance of each heated wire. Then heat produced in the wires is calculated by Joule's heating effect. H is equal to I square RT. They are heated to the same time, means they are both heated to the same extent, means time taken is same and resistance is also same. Now it is the quantity amount of current I. When they are in series, same current flows. When they are in parallel, then current divides. So, since the combination is connected across voltage supply, common voltage supply, voltage will be same. Therefore, what we have to do is, I have to express this in terms of voltage. So, we know that V is equal to Ri. V is equal to Ri. So, I is equal to V by R. We will substitute current I by V by R. Therefore, it becomes I square V square by R square into R into T. So, 1 R cancels. When 1 R cancels, you are left with heat produced is equal to V square by R into T. So, potential difference is common. Therefore, so supply is same in both the cases of combination. Therefore, V square by R into T. T is same, V is same. So, V and T are constant here. Only variable is resistance R, because when they are in series, it becomes R plus R. When they are in parallel, it becomes R by 2. Therefore, you can write here heat produced is inversely proportional to resistance. Heat produced, H is inversely proportional to resistance. Now we will calculate the ratio of heat produced. Therefore, ratio of heat produced, write dash heat produced when they are in series, heat produced when they are in parallel. So we can use this equation directly, since heat produced is directly inversely proportional to resistance. So heat produced is inversely proportional to resistance. This implies heat produced in series is inversely proportional to resistance in series. Effective resistance in series, and heat produced in parallel is inversely proportional to effective resistance in parallel. Effective resistance in parallel divided by effective resistance in series. Effective resistance in parallel, when they are of same values, then it becomes R into R divided by R plus R. You can see here. if they are in I can write as RP. 1 by RP is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R. Right? So it becomes 2 by R. So RP is equal to R by 2. Simple. Whereas RS is equal to R plus R. It becomes 2R. So this I can use here. Therefore R parallel becomes R by 2 and R series becomes 2R. So R cancels. You are left with 1 by 4. Therefore the ratio of heat produced is 1:4. Therefore HS is to H parallel is equal to 1:4. So ratio of heat produced is in this manner. So heat produced in case of parallel is 4 times, whereas heat produced in case of series is 1/4. Heat produced in series is equal to 1/4 of the heat produced in parallel, or heat produced in parallel is equal to 4 times the heat produced in series. This is a very interesting numerical problem, you must remember. Look at this third problem. This is also based on heat produced in a wire, right? V versus I graph for a metallic wire at two temperatures T1 and T2 is shown in this figure. These are the two graphs, V versus I. V is along x-axis, I is along y-axis. Which of these two temperatures is higher and why? Is it T1 greater than T2 or T2 greater than T1? We have to find out. See, we remember that heat produced is directly proportional to resistance. In the sense, when more and more heat is produced, the resistance of the wire is higher. More the resistance, more is the heat produced for the same amount of current. Joule's heating effect. Heat produced is equal to I square RT, where T is the time taken, R is the resistance, I is the current. For the same current that is flowing, heat produced is directly proportional to the resistance. More the resistance, more is the heat produced. Now we have to find out the resistance in these two cases. Resistance in case of T2 temperature, resistance in case of T1. So for that we need to draw slopes. Slope gives us I by R, I by B. Slope gives us I by B. Let us take two values, right? Yes. Yes, we can take slope, these two slope from here. You can call this one as A, B, C. That is the slope for T1. And D, C, B is the slope for T2. Now slope is equal to I by B. Slope is equal to delta I by delta B. Delta I by delta B. I can write simply from this graph. I can write it as I. Let me take this one as I and this one as B. Okay. So I in the T1, in the case of I, in the case of T1 is higher, and in the case of T2, I is lower, right? This corresponds to this way. Now look at the slopes. Now resistance R is equal to V by I. Therefore, you can write it as V by I, which is also equal to 1 by slope. 1 by slope gives us resistance R. So R is equal to 1 by slope. So slope is equal to 1 by R. So this is a slope is equal to 1 by R. So larger the resistance, more is the heat produced. So smaller the slope, higher is the resistance. From this given graph. So smaller the slope, higher is the resistance. That is based on this graph. That is from the graph. Because smaller the slope means R will be higher, larger the slope means R should be lower. Therefore, from these two cases, look at this. Slope of wire at temperature T1. Slope of wire at temperature T1. Look at this. This corresponds to AB by BC. AB by BC. AB by BC. Right? Now, slope of the wire at temperature T2. Look at this. dB by BC. dB by BC. Therefore, dB is lesser value. Therefore, slope of temperature T2 is lower. Definitely, slope of wire at temperature T1 is greater than slope of wire at temperature T2. Therefore, dB by BC is definitely greater than dB by BC. That is obtained from the graph. AB by BC is greater than dB by BC. Therefore, slope, this implies slope at temperature T2 is less than slope at temperature T1. Slope at temperature T2 is less than slope at temperature T1. Therefore, since it is a slope inversely proportional to resistance, therefore resistance at T1 is greater than resistance at T2. This is how we come to conclusion. So resistance corresponding to temperature T2 is lower than resistance corresponding to temperature T1. That's how we conclude. So therefore temperature T2 is higher. Slope is less for T2. Slope, when it is less for T2, when slope is less for T2, when slope is less for T2, therefore T2 is because R2 is greater than R1. RT2 is greater than RT1. That's how we conclude. Let us solve one more problem of calculating voltages. Okay, let us solve one more problem. Determine the voltage drop across the resistor R1 in the given circuit below with source EMF E equal to 60 volts, resistance R1 equal to 18 ohm, resistance R2 equal to 10 ohm, R3 equal to 5 ohm and R4 equal to 10 ohm. R4 is equal to 10 ohm. These are the given values. So these are all in ohms. And EMF is in volts, that is 60 volts, right? So first we have to find out what is the total combination. When we find out the total current flowing through the circuit, then the RI product gives us the voltage. So we have to first find out what is the effective resistance of this combination first. Effective resistance of this combination. It's a very simple problem. 10 plus 5. R3 and R4 are in series, so it becomes R3 plus R4, that becomes 15 ohm. 15 ohm is in parallel with 10 ohm. So R3 R4 combination is in parallel with R2. So 15 into 10 divided by 15 plus 10. 150 divided by 25. 150 divided by 25 becomes 25 ones are 25 6. So it becomes 6 ohm. 6 plus 18, it becomes 24. So total effective resistance becomes 24 ohm. So current flowing through the circuit, E divided by total resistance. E is 60 and the voltage, the effective resistance is 24. 60 divided by 24 gives us 6 4s are 6 10s are. So that is 5 by 2. The current becomes 2.5 amperes. 2.5 amperes of current into 18 ohm. So that gives us the voltage. 2.5 into 18. 18 2s are 36. Half of 18 is 9. 36 plus 9, it becomes 45. Very simple. So it may be asked for one mark question. So R3 and R4 are in parallel, are in series. R3 and R4 are in series. Then I will take this one as RS. Effective resistance as RS is equal to R3 plus R4, that is equal to 5 plus 10, 15 ohms. So RS becomes 15 ohms. Now RS and R2 are in parallel. RS and R2 are in parallel. Therefore, I will write this as RP. Okay, let me write it as RP. Since they are in parallel. So RS we have found out 15. 15 and 10 are in parallel. So I can write it as this is very easy to remember. So I can write RS R2 divided by RS plus R2. RS is 15 and R2 is 10. 15 10 divided by 15 plus 10. 15 into 10 divided by 15 plus 10. Therefore RP becomes 150 divided by 25. So it becomes 6 ohm. Now this entire block and R1 are in series. Entire block I have found out 6 ohm. Therefore RP and R1 are in series. Therefore R effective, total effective resistance, R effective resistance becomes RP plus R1. R1 plus RP. 18 plus 6. 24 ohm. Therefore, first I will find out the current. Therefore, current in the circuit. I is equal to EMF divided by effective resistance. EMF is 60. Effective resistance is 24. So you can cancel it. 12 2s are 12 5s are 5 by 2. So that is 2.5 ampere. Now 2.5 ampere current flows, and the same 2.5 ampere current flows through this, where I is equal to 2.5. So the voltage across resistance R1. Therefore, voltage across resistor R1 becomes I into R1. R1 is 18 by 2. 2 ones are 2 nines are, so it becomes 45 volts. So it becomes 45 volts. Okay. In the next session, we will discuss more of numerical problems on current electricity. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.